We are back up at the mod garage again, doing more side jobs. So you got this car pretty much done, ready to go at this point. I'm waiting on one heater core hose. We're gonna finish that car today, assuming that Subaru drops it off within a reasonable time frame today. We have a, I don't even know what it is, like an 11 to 14 STI hatchback showing up this morning for cylinder 4 cooling mod. And then we also have that blue WRX from last time coming back in for a J-pipe. So we have a pretty busy day ahead of us. If I have time, I'm gonna start on the next engine build today. I don't know if I will or will not, but I also have another 11 to 14 STI over in one of the other bays over there. It's a hatchback as well with a blown motor. That is the next motor build that I'm doing for that one. So we have the new engine right over here. It's just a Type RA short block, still in the box, whole bunch of OEM Subaru goodies. So looking forward to getting that one done as well, because I think that's pretty much all going to go to the fabricator for the other for the 17 STI for the turbo setup that we're doing, for the header, up pipe, down pipe, intercooler, radiator, that whole kit and caboodle stuff that we got going on right there. But this other STI is about to show up, so I'm gonna get this one pushed out. Once this one's pushed out, I think at that point we're pretty much ready to go for a cylinder 4 cooling mod, which should be an easy one to do. So this is the STI that we're working on today. It's just cylinder 4 cooling mod. I was supposed to be doing this one last week, but I just ran out of time. So pretty easy to do. First, I'm gonna get the car up in the air. I'm gonna drain the coolant from the oil cooler like I normally do, so that way I don't get peed on from the back of the block. So we'll get this thing in the air. We'll let it cool down for a minute. Actually, I'm not even gonna let it cool down. I'm just gonna start pulling coolant out of that oil cooler right there. Just to let it'll cool down just fine. It'll be fine. Right now, I'm just letting the coolant drain out of it. I just pulled the cap on the drain on the radiator. Normally, I drain the coolant from the oil cooler up here, but with the car just being driven here and it being so hot, there was pressure built up in the system. So even with pulling that drain cap off, it just shot straight into the bucket. So I get to fish around in the bucket now to find that cap. But probably let this thing drain for the next 15-20 minutes, get as much coolant out as I can, so that way I don't take a nice hot shower in some OEM Subaru Blue coolant. Once this is all drained out, we can go up there, well, we can go under here, get to the back fitting. I can actually show you guys where the back fitting is on this thing now, instead of trying to do this under a garage with Brian. Hey, how many of those you got in the fridge? Just one. Are you kidding me? I didn't bring a drink today. Oh, I love you. So we're gonna let this thing drain. Once it's done, we'll get the fitting out, we'll get the cylinder 4 cooling mod in, get coolant back in here, burp it, and get this gentleman out of here. I'm tired of waiting for that to finish peeing. Well, I guess that to finish peeing. So I'm gonna come in here and get the plug out. So right above the subframe and right behind the steering rack back there. Hold up, let me illuminate this more. It's literally right behind the steering rack, and I cannot get a camera in there to show you. It's literally right behind there. It's a tiny plug. Once I get the plug out, I'll show you guys what the plug looks like. Right there. Oh, dude, much better. Don't shower me with coolant, please. Oh, dude, that came out. That was nice and smooth right there. So there's the plug. I'll show you guys this on the bench, but let me get the cylinder 4 cooling mod threaded back up in there, and then I'll show you guys this. So this is the plug that's back there that you got to take out. It's a T12 to get this thing out of the back. It really wasn't in there all that hard. I've done other cars where it's been glued in there, but our cylinder 4 cooling mod, so you can kind of see it right here. I know it's a little bit dark down here. So here's our cylinder 4 cooling mod, goes into the back of the block. Now I need to tap it into the hose up there. So let me look on Dom's website, because it's different for every car, just to double check which one I'm putting it in. I'll cut the line, get it in there, fill it back up with coolant, and then we can get this thing burped. Got that installed in there. It goes up to the black heater core line. You have a black one and a silver one up there. Very difficult to show even width. All right, right there. So that T goes up to the black line on this generation 08 plus, not the silver one. So we have it tapped into the block with sealant, good to go. So let's bring this car down, get some coolant back in it, get it burped, and get it out of here. And at this point, I just got to get it burped. So I got coolant back in it. I got the defrost on max. We're going to be getting all the bubbles out of the cooling system right there. And then once all the bubbles are out, this thing's done. I'll put it back up in the air, get the splash guard put back on, make sure we're not leaking from anywhere. I just peeked down there with a flashlight. I don't see anything leaking anywhere. So let's get the air bubbles out of this thing. We'll go drive it around the block a little bit, make sure it's all good, and wait for the next one to come in, so that way we can get this J-pipe knocked out. But I like this red. I like this hatch. This hatch looks good, dude. It's simple and clean. I like it. And it's got like this nice wing on it. Blacktop arrow wing. Personally, I've never been a huge fan of red Subarus, but this one, I don't know, something about it, dude. It just looks good. I enjoy working on other people's cars. I actually get to like peek at them, work on them, see like different things aside from the Blob Eye and the Blue Baru, which don't get me wrong, I love working on both of those cars, but this gives like a nice spice up to what I'm doing every single day. It gives me a break from like wiring and everything like that. So let me get to burping this thing. Once it's done being burped, we'll just go drive it around, make sure it's all good. All right, let's go drive this one around, make sure it's all good. Which it should be. There's no reason that it shouldn't be. So let's pop you right there. Let's go diddle daddle around a little bit. Coolant's looking perfect. We got all the bubbles out. Let's pull around over here. Perfect. I'm happy with it. Dope. So hatchback's done. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going right now? Red hatchback's done. Cylinder 4 cooling mod installed. Super easy. Next up, J-pipe on that blue 2015 WRX, the CVT that everyone like flipped out about last time. Yes, it's a CVT. No, it's not my car. The owner said he got a good deal on it. That's why he got a CVT. I'm not complaining. I just put the parts on the car. Right? They bring me the car, they bring me the parts, I take the parts, I put the parts on the car. That's all I do. That's my job right now. So we have a Mishimoto J-pipe going on there. It is catted, so we'll do a sound clip. A lot of people ask me what the exhaust on that thing was. I have absolutely no idea. I think it's an AWE, but I'll find out once I get it up in the air. We can start working on it. So cylinder 4 cooling mod done. Hopefully the coolant hoses for that white Hawkeye out there show up. We can get that one started, burped, bled, done. Owner can come pick that one up. Easy engine build. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen today? It's always a basket of wonders up here whenever things happen. All right, blue WRX is back in here. I already got it up on the lift, and I've already got the splash guards off on this thing, just so that way I can start getting PB Blaster up on those J-pipe studs, because those are going to be a pain. So I'm going to do this in 2 sections. I'm going to remove the J-pipe heat shields right there. Then I'm going to remove the back section of the J-pipe, get that off the car, so that way I'm just working with the catalytic converter area right there, just to give me a little bit more room to fanoodle my hands in there to fight with those studs. Those studs are always a pain on J-pipes. Everyone, I know a lot of you guys have these FA20 WRXs, and if you do, I'm sure you know the struggle and know the pain of trying to deal with these. So I'm just going to start taking this thing apart. Hopefully it comes off in one piece, so that way we can get that new Mishimoto J-pipe on there. I want to share my frustration with you guys because WRX J-pipes, straight bull. So not only, actually, let's start over here in my pile. So first of all, stud pulled threads out of turbo, bolt rounded off on J-pipe, stud snapped, stud decided to itself. So I had to drill and retap 2 of the 4 holes on the turbo for the new studs. This thing is just, it's been a nightmare. It's been about an hour and a half just dealing with this stud to be able to get threads on there, to be able to get it even in there. Even drilling it and tapping it, didn't want to go back in. Finally got it back in, finally got that one in. Still have to do those top 2, but J-pipes on these cars are the stupidest thing in the world. The design on that, straight trash. So, and that stupid heat shield, I fought with that for like an hour. So now I can get this guy on finally, after I swap out those other 2 studs, praying that nothing bad happens on those ones. So God, hopefully I can wrap this up. The heater core hoses showed up for the other car, so at least I can get that one finished, but this is just straight bullshit. Oh my God, I do not want to do another J-pipe install. That sucks. That is not enjoyable by any means, but J-pipe's on there, hooked up the wideband, got both the O2 sensors back in, all the heat shields, splash guards, all the fun stuff back on this one. So that means we can start it up, see how it sounds. It's so very loud.
It's not as loud as I thought it would be though. So we'll let it warm up. We'll go drive it around the cul-de-sac a little bit, make sure it's all good, but that's loud. So it's a, what is it? Mishimoto J-pipe, axle back delete. That's it. All right, let's go park this thing out front. Drive it around the cul-de-sac real quick, make sure it don't blow up. Not joking. Oh, that sucks. His AFR sensor died. It happens frequently with AEM. I have a whole video about that actually, about AFR sensors dying. Actually, because watch, check it out. If I come in here, AFR is right here. See how it's 3 dashes? Nothing happens. But now watch, if I turn the car off, put it back on, it'll register, do its warm up. U51, P00, it's gonna go, oh wow. Oh, it straight killed that sensor. It's definitely a little bit louder now. I know, fasten seatbelts. Every time I come over this little hump, it always just like glunk. That white Hawkeye right there, we're about to finish that one as soon as I give this car back. Stop beeping at me. You're gonna get finished today, baby girl. Everything seems just fine. Let's park it, go give it back, go finish our Hawkeye build. Now that the WRX is done and the STI is done for their J-pipe and cylinder 4 cooling mod, time to get this thing finished. So last time, I pretty much got this thing done. That battery is like dead. It's not just dead, it's dead. So I need to swap out those heater core lines, get a jump box on that thing, get this thing started, get it burped, and then the owner can come pick it up whenever he chooses. But let's swap those 2 lines out, get the top mount back on, get some coolant in it. And what do you say, Brian? We start it? Woo! So we're ready to build a oil pressure in this one. Crank position sensors disconnected, fuel pumps are disconnected. Kyle over here was a saint and helped me get this battery situation taken care of, because the battery that was in the car is from 2013, so it did not want to hold a charge. So I have no idea how old the gas is that's in this car. I have no idea. So we're just gonna see what happens when we go to start it. So we're gonna build oil pressure first. We'll crank it over a couple times so that way we have oil flowing through all of the new galleys in the block, make sure everything's nice and solid. Once that's done, we'll just start it and hope it doesn't blow up. I gotta let the battery charge because it's dead. Give me like 15 minutes. I think we got enough battery to try to start it again. See what happens. We're at 51. I think that's enough. Well, that's not as smooth as a kitten. That is a smooth sounding engine right there, my friends. You'll probably see some smoke from all the spilled coolant, but oh, look at that smoke. It's a whole lot of smoke. That's coolant. It's safe. It's just coolant. Yeah, this thing's running like a fucking kitten right now. All the air bubbles are getting burped out of there. It's burning off all the spilt coolant that I spilt down there. We got a little bit of white smoke coming out the back end from some condensation that was built up in the exhaust. It has died down quite a bit, the amount that's coming out of there. So we do have a check engine light on the dash for secondary air pump delete that I did on the car, but yo, it sounds, that's a smooth sounding engine right there. Brian, I'm happy with this engine. I am happy with this. Oh, that was a good one and I just missed it. Oh, look at those bubbles. That's what I live for, you guys. I live for the bubbles that come out of this thing. Now, I will say, you can definitely hear that it's a built block because I can definitely hear some piston slap in there. It should go away once it's completely warmed up, but I'm glad to see that the 1/2-inch head stud ordeal that we had to deal with on this, we had to drill up the heads. My buddy Eric did a fantastic killer job at it, so I'm gonna continue to let this thing run, try to get as much of the bubbles out of the cooling system. Once I have it running, I might go drive it around the block a little bit, we'll see. But give me like 15 minutes to deal with this situation. This car pretty much good to go at this point. It needs to go through engine braking process, everything like that. Got the cooling system burped, everything runs perfect on it as far as I can see. There's no access port in there right now, so I can only see what's available on the dash, but
I mean, from what I could tell, don't judge me, I can see you over there looking at me. But from what I could tell, everything looked just fine. From what I was told, I guess I'm doing a fuel pump in it and swapping out the battery to a Melee battery setup in this car at some point. I don't know when. My main focus is gonna be starting on that hatchback down there and getting the engine pulled out of that one, so that way we can go through another engine rebuild process. Because that'll be fun. That'll be exciting. Kyle, are you excited? We're gonna swing back down to the house. You guys, so it's actually a couple days from when I shot all of that, of what you just saw, of getting that Hawkeye running, that J-pipe, and that cylinder 4 cooling mod. I thought I'd done an outro up at the mod garage when I was up there, but I guess not. So today I actually dropped off the 17 STI down at Fuse Fabrication. So you guys are gonna be seeing a lot more side videos coming here soon, probably within the next like 2 weeks or so, just to be able to generate funds to obviously be able to pay the fabricator, because we have a big bill coming up with him, so we got to make some money to be able to pay that man. But I'm excited to get the car back. I'm excited to build a couple more of these engines on the side. The next two that I'm doing are pretty OE style rebuilds, so they shouldn't be too bad to do. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. You guys said you wanted more of the side job videos, so I'm giving them to you guys. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, magenta, whatever color it turns for you. And the color of the day today, yellow, like all of these Corsair boxes for the PC that I'll eventually build one day. But anyways, with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. I gotta do a baby woo because everyone's sleeping, so woo!